Hey guys, welcome back to more political chatter. We're doing another 2024 election scenario with Kamala Harris, the incumbent vice president of the United States, who is hugely unpopular, even more unpopular than the very unpopular President Biden. She's facing off against the extremely popular Florida governor, Ron DeSantis. Now, as I said, this is an unpopular vice president doing a popular governor. And Ron DeSantis, he really will capture that Republican vote, and he's going to bring in independents and many not necessarily Democrats, because they are not willing to vote for Trumpian candidates such as Ron DeSantis, who is closely allied with Donald Trump. But he will win many Republicans and independents. And because so many people are unsatisfied with Joe Biden's presidency, and Kamala Harris will be no different. Kamala Harris is Joe Biden's vice president. They are sure to have most of the same policy. It's just going to be 4 more years of Biden. That is really what will be in voters' minds. So it's more like a more unpopular version and a more unliked version of Joe Biden versus Florida governor, who everyone loves, who all the Republicans love, facing off against each other. So, Ron DeSantis, this will be a blowout. As you know, Ron DeSantis will win this election. California will be solid. Honestly, I could see Washington going likely. I'm not going to lie, but, they went to Hillary in 2020 or in 2016 by a wide margin. Then Illinois and Hawaii and D.C. and Maryland. And Delaware I will give to Harris by a solid margin, even though Hillary Clinton only won it by 11.5% margin in 2016. I will give it to her because this is Biden's home state. So, she is basically a copy of Biden. New York, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Vermont would all go to her. And now for these states that are certainly going to go to Kamala Harris, but won't be as solid. They will be likely. Those will be states like Oregon. Why can't I think? I was expecting there to be a state near Illinois, and there isn't. New Jersey, Connecticut, and Maine's 1st congressional district. So these are all the states that went likely for Hillary in 2016. Jeez, I keep saying that. And Kamala Harris is only going to do worse here than Hillary Clinton, because Kamala Harris is less popular than Hillary Clinton, and she surely will be in 2024. And then let's go to the safe Republican states for Ron DeSantis. Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Oklahoma, Kansas would flip back into the solid column, because if we go to 2020, it did go likely for Trump. And also Nebraska's 1st congressional district will flip back into the solid column for the Republican Party as well. And then, of course, Nebraska's 3rd and Nebraska at large. Then Ron DeSantis really will capture that South, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Missouri. Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia, Indiana will stay solid. Mississippi and Alabama will go solid. And honestly, a state like Alaska, I could see shifting 6 points to the right. I really think so. Trump won it by 10.1%. I see DeSantis doing 6 points better here. I think it would flip into the solid column. I don't see him having much trouble, because Kamala Harris is doing all the work for Ron DeSantis. Her being the nominee is already a huge boost to Ron DeSantis. He really doesn't need to do much with Harris as the nominee. Going down to Texas, it will go likely for Ron DeSantis, went likely for Trump in 2016, and went likely for him again in 2020. So, we're not going to see this state shifting 10 points to the right. That would be absurd. And we're not going to see Harris do better here at all. And then states like Iowa and Ohio, I'm almost ready to give these states safe for Ron DeSantis. I really see him, I could see him shifting it 7 points to the right. But really, in reality, he doesn't have that Trumpian appeal as much as Trump does. He does, but not that strange Trump appeal where his anti-immigration appeal was able to win over voters in the Rust Belt. So I don't think that it would be solid, but Ron DeSantis will do better here, just because of how much these 2 states really would back away from Kamala Harris. I don't see them liking Harris at all. Going down to New Mexico and Colorado, I really see these 2 states being very close, but ultimately I do think that Harris will be able to hang on to these by lean margins. They both went to Biden by over 10% in the 2020 election, and Harris, she would be able to win it. I really do think so. Saying that Hillary Clinton was able to win New Mexico by a likely margin in 2016, but I really think it would be remarkably close. But maybe if Ron DeSantis was a bit more moderate, but also very popular still, I think he would have a shot at winning one of these states. But right now, I don't see it. But going to Nevada and Arizona, I see Arizona becoming likely for Ron DeSantis. Kamala Harris is just so unpopular in this Sun Belt, and Ron DeSantis has a special Sun Belt appeal. He will turn out voters in the Sun Belt, which includes Nevada and Arizona. Nevada would be lean for Ron DeSantis, by the way. He really will do well here. He'll also do well in the Midwest. I see Ron DeSantis carrying Nebraska's 2nd congressional district by a likely margin. I could see this being a 10-point shift. Biden won by 6.6% in 2020. I'm going to make it lean just to be safe, however. But really, I don't see Kamala Harris doing that well. And then Trump was able to carry it by a lean margin in 2020. So, I think that Ron DeSantis would do pretty well here. Moving on to Florida, I could see Florida being safe. I could see Ron DeSantis carrying the state by a solid margin, so over 15% margins. Just that Kamala Harris is so unapproved of here. Number 2, it's becoming more Republican, and it has shown that they stand behind Trump in 2020. They shifted to the right by about 2 points, which really is a lot looking to all the other states, which shifted to the right, so like in Minnesota and New Hampshire, shifted to the right, to the left, 7 points. And number 3, most importantly, Ron DeSantis is the immensely popular governor here. He really is, and he will be able to carry it. I'm going to make South Carolina likely for DeSantis just because Kamala Harris is African American. She will turn out some African American votes, but she would do awful here. Still, South Carolina likely Kamala Harris. I don't see it at this point in time. Then Georgia, lean Harris. North Carolina, I think it'd be pretty close to becoming likely, but just to be on the safe side, I'll make it lean. Ron DeSantis really connects with the Sun Belt, Southern Bible Belt voters. Kamala Harris does not, even though she is African American. She really doesn't. DeSantis has this appeal. She really doesn't stand a chance here. Going to Virginia, I think that this would be a extremely close state, and I'm giving it tilt for Kamala Harris. But I'm only doing that just because Ron DeSantis is so closely aligned with Trump. He really is, and that's not what Virginia voters want. They don't like that. They have showed that many times. And they have a Republican governor, but that Republican governor has backed away from Trump, and that is how he won the election. That is how he won. So Virginia, I think, would be tilt Harris, our first tilt state of the prediction. Minnesota, I think I'm ready to give this to Ron DeSantis. I did not in my last Harris versus Trump prediction, but DeSantis is a bit more popular than Trump. Not necessarily popular, but just he will get more votes than Donald Trump, narrowly. I really think so. Kamala Harris, she's just hated everywhere, and even though this is a Democratic state, I don't see it. She's going to lose in many of these states, like Maine's second. It will be likely for DeSantis. The state of New Hampshire, that's going to be a flip into the Republican column. Kamala Harris does not connect in the Granite State. This Northeast, she will not do well here at all because she does not have any connections here, but she comes from the other side of the country. She will not do well in this area. I think Maine's at-large vote would be pretty close, but I will give it lean Harris. And that leaves the blue wall, and Ron DeSantis will, of course, win it. I say Wisconsin likely, Michigan lean, and Pennsylvania lean. I don't think she stands a chance here. She doesn't have that. Trump won because he had this strange appeal there. And Ron DeSantis does have that because he's similar to Trump, and he will turn out Trumpians. Kamala Harris doesn't have this, especially in the state of Wisconsin. It's so generally conservative. Kamala Harris doesn't stand a chance. So this is my final prediction. Hopefully you agree. If not, tell me in the comments. You likely, with probably the exception of Minnesota, you probably agree with all the state callings. But you probably disagree with the margins on the states, and that, chance, right, it's very likely that, you disagree with at least one of the margins, So thank you for watching. Support me on Patreon. Guys, 0 patrons. I'm just kidding. I know no one's gonna donate on Patreon. I just decided to do it anyway. Anyway, so thank you for watching, and I hope to see you for the next video. Bye, guys.